gonna crush who? On Friday night, football. North Melbourne versus Collingwood.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to Friday Night Football. A big crowd at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, North Melbourne coming out onto the ground. A couple of changes tonight, Mickey Martin and Trent Nichols both back into the team. North Melbourne have won 7 out of their last 8, including their last 4 matches. And they're primed. They haven't been at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for a few weeks. Well, it's a funny old season for both clubs. It wasn't all that long ago that the headlines read as follows. Lee Matthews saying, "I'd like to shoot them if I could," after West Coast snatched that win from Collingwood. And Dennis Pagan saying, "I wish we hadn't won the Ansett Cup because Richmond had routed the Roos here on Monday Night Football." But things have turned around for both clubs. Look at North Melbourne in the blue, in their highest position so far this season, getting their percentage back to 108. They're 4th on the ladder. And Collingwood also up to 7th and the 8th for the first time, and they've won 5 with a draw from their last 7. Gerard Healy, welcome to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's going to be a terrific match on paper.
Yeah, it should be, Bruce, and what a great way to finish the working week. Coming to the MCG, jam-packed with people, and these two sides really, with a lot to gain out of a victory, should go very hard at it right from the word go.
Been a little while since North has been involved in such a big match. I mentioned earlier the changes. Mickey Martin back into the team along with Trent Nichols.
Yes, I picked out a couple of my favourite players in Matthew Capuano and, of course, Anthony Stevens as players to watch. But North Melbourne, as you said, haven't lost a game since round 9. And looking at the list, they do seem to have an aerial supremacy over Collingwood. So they'll be looking for big contributions from the likes of McKernan and, of course, Wayne Carey. But Anthony Stevens, well, he's just a red-hot goer, and he will have a job on the emerging match winner for Collingwood in Paul Williams. Their battle in the middle of the field, I think, is one that stands out, and that will be one of the highlights of the night. Matthew Capuano, well, much like Corey McKernan last year, he's really emerged in his 2nd year of football. He's probably just pushed out Alex Ishenko out of the senior side. A good young player, can do well in the ruck, can go forward importantly, and kick a very vital goal like you saw that one of Banana.
Gavin Brown back in first. He's only played 1 game in 5 weeks. Gary Pert back in. And we believe that young James will miss. Brett James and Mark Orchard will come into the lineup.
Yeah, it's good to have some experience back. They had a lot of rookies a couple of games ago against St Kilda. But when you look at this lineup, there is lots and lots of running power. And if you're looking for positives, Collingwood, you'd have to say that if they were going to win this, they're going to have to win it through the midfield and just keep on pumping the ball down to the likes of Sav Rocker and Dermot Brereton. But that will all start with one of my key players tonight in Damien Moncourse, and of course Dermot Brereton up in the forward line. But the big monkey, well, he's going to have a big job in the middle of the ground, and
he will, as they just coming out. He was the captain last week, Gerard. Gavin Brown back in tonight, but Gavin Krasiska we see there. So they were in terrific form last week, and as you said, gee, didn't Moncourse really lead a different banner tonight, quite unusual. Yeah,
and there's Scott Russell I just saw on the side of screen. He, along with the likes of Buckley, Wright, Williams, and of course Gavin Brown coming back in, just adds so much running power that they will have to start from the half-back line and bring it through the middle.
Tell us about the big monkey.
Well, I really think that his season turned around against St Kilda here 3 weeks ago. He went into the State of Origin game and really did poleaxe a few people there. And boy, did he take it up to the Adelaide Crows last season. And speaking of poleaxing, well, I think Dermot Brereton may just test out a few, flex the old muscles up on the forward line, and just welcome Mickey Martin back to football. But he is having one of his better periods of his career.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft, and National Australia Bank.
The crowd has grown appreciably in the last quarter of an hour. It looks in the vicinity of 60 to 70,000 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Won't they roar when the opening bounce takes place after this break?
Nicole Bradkey, Gary Niewand and the Woodies join Bruce McAvaney live on Sports World Sunday morning on 7.
Wonderful atmosphere here The Big Dipper on the ground. I was just thinking a moment ago, Dipper, wouldn't Dermy Brereton love all this? He'd just lap it up.
Absolutely, Bruce. I've just been watching him warm up, and he is on fire. He's already kicked 3 goals already, and he's warmed up the members here. And down here, the crowd is absolutely big crowd here. The conditions absolutely dry here, and not a breath of wind, and I'm expecting Collingwood to win tonight, Bruce.
Love the haircut, Dipper. You look fantastic tonight.
I saw you on Monday night, and I thought if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
Good on you, Dipper. Robbo, welcome to the telecast.
Good
How
on
are
you, Bruce.
son?
Yes, I'm ready for a big game. I think that this is probably the best night we've had for a little while, weather-wise. And we've got a team there in Collingwood that look as though they're in form. I'm just a little sceptical because I thought the opposition last week was feeble, along with 100% of people that saw the game. But North Melbourne, well, they're not going anything spectacular either, Bruce. I mean, their form against St Kilda obviously wasn't brilliant.
No, they've won 7 out of 8, but they haven't played many of the top teams of late now. Interestingly, Mickey Martin, look at Brereton and Martin at it already. Have a look at this. Oh, be careful, boys.
Well, that's a Melly.
How much? That's 50,000 almost if you get 7 in there.
Well,
Melly, all right.
it constitutes a Melly, Jared, doesn't it?
It does, and Dipper was dead set correct. His information was pretty good. He thought that Dermott might just be almost at boiling point. Look at him, is he pumped up?
Gee, let's watch when the footy gets down there. You beauty, Bruce.
A sensation to start this Friday night match. The big monkey to go. And should get a free kick. That's what Collingwood wanted. He'll try and bury the opposition. Play on call. Watson kicks to half forward. Bad kick, gee. That took a bit of sting out. It should have been longer and stronger and given Dermott a run in it. Smith came across. He won't shirk any issue with Rossi Smith. Good hands, Archer. He was strong at the footy. Hassell's got the job on him tonight. Archer to Carey. Francisco went early. Carey's got it. Full kick.
Well, right from the word go, it just appears that Gavin Francisco is going to be underdone for both strength and height, so he's going to rely on his ground play to even up the advantage or the disadvantage that he has got in physical attributes.
It's going to be one of those nights, boys. Don't you feel it? Carey to full forward. Good long kick. Great fly by Capuano. Didn't start in the ruck, by the way. McKernan did. Brown got a quick kick away to captain. To the other captain. Carey caught, run down. Play on call. Williams run down. Gee, it's hard as you would expect. Brown in there with Stevens. Collingwood get a free kick. Robbo, I don't want to give up the microphone. It's too good early.
They're a bit fortunate there, the Pies. Identical with Carey being run into the ground. A free kick to Collingwood. Montcourt having a dust up there with Fairley. But the play on the wing, it's kicked forward by Patterson. Nearly marked by Scholl. Brereton tackled by Smith too high. Brereton's free kick. So early in round 1, Brereton has a kick on the scoreboard. Kicks into the man on the mark. The ball bounces awkwardly. Taken by Scholl. Scholl back towards the centre of the ground. Nearly a Collingwood mark back there. Taken by Hassell. Archer's handball. Couldn't find Stevens. Along the ground. Kick off the ground by Rock. He's been flattened by Hassell. In goes Russell on top of Archer. And the umpire will bounce on centre wing. The emergency umpire has been overworked unbelievably in the first 3 minutes. Johnny Hassell and Scott Russell in the picture. The umpires, Brett Allen, Brian Sheehan and Mark Westgarth. Bounced by Mark Westgarth. Knocked forward by McKernan. Taken by Blakey. Blakey's kick across his left shoulder.
Half forward. Hassell in the front spot. Francisco, who was immaculate last week, kicks off the ground. Schwasson right. Right with the job on Schwass, interestingly, Jared. Handball was okay to Carey. Handball under pressure, out of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the way they're lining up. I think it may be Buckley Schwass, and that's just a quick manoeuvre by the teammates. As you see, Trent Nichols coming back after a 4-week absence for North Melbourne. There he is sitting on the bench.
Richardson, Schwass on the right foot, under pressure, but kept it in by, not out on the full. So the best and fairest of the club last year, with a big job again tonight. The midfield all important. Collingwood was sparkling last week with Buckley and Williams.
And you're right about the Buckley lineup. Blakey's on Buckley, and of course Wright is on Schwass.
Mark Richardson gets a big fist to it and bashes it clear of the boundary line for another throw-in. Gavin Brown, what a great sight for Collingwood fans to see him out there on the field. The Collingwood bench, Butcher, Russell now on the bench having a spell. At the back was James. May have started on the bench, Aaron James. Gets the hand pass clear. Buckley. Oh, good crunch by Archer. Fairly in a bit of trouble. Ball spills wide. Back near centre-half back. Now it goes back to Buckley. Buckley off his right foot. Kicks towards half-forward. Oh, fumble there by Ross Smith. Gather was by Liddell. Liddell to full forward. Rocker his first chance. A very ordinary bounce to the full forward. Martin slips over. Rocker goes in. And a shocking kick slews off the side of his boot back North Melbourne's way. Taken by Anthony Stevens, and he kicks clear for North Melbourne. A bad fumble by Capuano. Back to Stevens. Stevens to half-forward for the Kangaroos.
Carey went early. Free kick Krosiska this time. The advantage given. Well, they had stopped them prop. Hassel runs away with one bounce. Keeps it close to the boundary. Great kick to Williams. Good play, Hassel. Williams and Stevens. What a match-up that'll be. Two of the really hot players in the comp. Williams normally a beautiful kick. He goes long, wanting Rock a big fly. There were three North Melbournes there. Brereton was in there as well with Ross Smith and Brad Rowe. And look at Dermott. 5 premierships at Hawthorn. So heroic in so many grand finals at this ground. Expected to get down to 7, currently 10. It's a good night for footy. Moncourse there held his ground. Brereton tries to get through. Was the tackle high, holding the footy. He probably should have gone on the left boot very quickly when he had the chance. He tried to break a tackle and then got caught up. Now Robert Scott receives from Scholl. Oh, dangerous short, well played by Schwass. He stuck his bottom out and held the footy at centre-half back.
Good hands there by Wayne Schwass. Very difficult. Gets the handball away to Laidley. Laidley goes across the full back line and finds Ross Smith. Ross Smith runs in towards centre-half back and then kicks towards centre-half forward. Looking for Carey. Did he push out? No. But mark has been given. Handball to Stevens. Stevens goes to goal. North Melbourne mark in the square. And if that's not 50 metres, it will put him right on the line. We don't know anything about football. Pretty ordinary play by Gary Pert. Maybe he would kick the goal anyway. There's a little bit of a to-do between Allison and Alan Richardson. And if the boys aren't pumped, we'll see the umpire take the Collingwood player right back onto the goal line. That's Gary Pert. And of course, in that situation, it makes Longmire able to kick from directly in front. The dust-up continues. Longmire kicks the goal, and the umpires call play on. Still that dust-up in the pocket. But surely the umpires, well, your best do there, Gerard, is to go back, start the game again in the middle of the ground.
Well, I think they did exactly that, Robbo, and players just kept on running, and they're still running from in the middle of the ground back to what was happening in the forward pocket, but seems to have just settled down now. And I think all players just have to take a stock here, Robbo, because there's already been a couple of incidents that are going to be looked on fairly.
Well, a free kick has been given to North Melbourne out of the centre.
That's why they're running everywhere. Carey in the front spot. Good take, almost not paid. James there, Scott. So Longmire with the opening goal. Carey on the left boot. High one. Getting close there. Longmire and Pert. A shove again. Archer gets it back to Longmire. Handball, very good. McKernan should kick it. All crunch from the front. And Pert gives away a behind.
Well, the thought for the handball was excellent, Bruce, but the disposal wasn't all that flash. And let's just have a look. There's an old-fashioned hip and shoulder shirt front. Nothing wrong with that one, Robbo. Would have been right up your alley.
Yeah, good stuff there by Alan Richardson. The kick in by Pert goes to half-back. Gathered by Mark Richardson. His kick, reasonably effective. Gets about 40 metres. Nearly gathered by Ross Smith, taken over for a throw-in. I wonder whether Collingwood feel that these are the tactics that they just have to apply to knock North Melbourne off their game, because North Melbourne, with some brilliance, they're 9-4 on favourites, North, but with McKernan, Carey, young Capuano, gee, they've got some goal-kicking ability. Liddell in trouble, got the hand pass wide. That's Brown. Lovely one for Buckley. Buckley runs onto it, kicks into the full forward area. Marking contest. Martin, the ball at the back, brilliantly taken away by Laidley. Kicks it out to a one-on-one between Gray and Wright and Wayne Schwass. The bounce is not good for the Collingwood player. Schwass kicks to a vacant wing area. Leading in the race there is Richardson. It's going to be a good contest. Oh, Schwass was magnificent. Well done. Made a terrific contest and forced the ball over. And look at his North Melbourne teammates come in to give him a pat on the head. Terrific stuff by Schwass.
A good solid play there by Wayne Sloss. Damien Moncourse now just resting at centre-half forward. Mark Richardson taking it out of the ruck.
Kicks it back in the direction of half forward. Laidley there. Got a punch away. Brown. Did he get a high one? He wanted it. He was felt for it, not paid. Laidley's little one round the body. Out of play at centre wing again.
Bruce, you don't often see this. The 6 interchange players running around the boundary line all together. I think there's a real psychological battle going on at the moment.
Laidley and Brereton. I wonder why North, I know we're going back a few minutes, why they got their free kick out of the centre. Was it because of what happened in the pocket with the fight? Armstrong's kick, 2 centre-half forward. Oh, McKernan, Carey-like, handball good. Scott, or rather Rock, should finish off with a goal. He has. North in front early. Well, plenty of fights, dust-ups, but on the scoreboard, it's the Kangaroos that are showing out. They're 2-1, Collingwood yet to score.
Expert commentary at a whole new level. That's Talking Footy. Monday nights on 7 Sports.
There's a bit of toughness about them. The bounce at the centre, Monkhorst. Brereton tries to finesse, taken by Anderson. Left foot kick by that player, goes back towards half-forward mark, taken by Archer.
Twice already, he's just slipped away from Watson.
He's between centre and centre-half forward. He kicks across the line, and the mark is taken by Carey. And you would have to think that Wayne Carey is within scoring distance. He is a magnificent kick. The statistics that showed his conversion rate of something like 66 or 68% of goals to behinds is quite good. 38 goals, 19 so far in the season. Just kicks a little bit back from the man on the mark, goes off to the right and registers a behind. Carey's first score for the night. Goals coming from Longmire and Rock for the Kangaroos, and they lead 2-2. Collingwood get to score.
Pert, normally a great long kick, comes out wide. Gavin Brown the target. Armstrong went early and effectively against him. Wright has to sit, wait, gets around, left-hand handball, very good. Williams at half-back. Neat again. Looks to Patterson at half-forward. Over his head. Scholl, who's worked his way back into this team in the last couple of weeks. High ball, back to half-forward. Carey will launch. Had a 2 goes and got it.
Oh.
Third mark for Carey.
Doubtful.
Dumps it long. Longmire the target. In the front, Krasiska came across. McKernan snap across the body. And he's missed a lot. Out of bounds on the full.
Just to see whether Wayne got first purchase on it. Did look a bit doubtful, Robbo, didn't it?
Yeah, a bit rough. Gary Pert to kick in for Collingwood. Hits it outside 50 metres. High flyers, no mark taken. Ball spills for a throw-in. About 85 to 90 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. And there's some intensity there from the North Melbourne coach's box. I guess it's a very important game for both sides. Collingwood at this stage are 7th on the ladder. North Melbourne are 4th on the ladder. Brown, little hand pass. Kick forward by Hassel to the wing. Patterson knocked away there by Anderson. And a throw-in will take place. Not quite up to the wing. It's still in North Melbourne's forward half, and they lead 2-2. Collingwood get to score.
McKernan and Monkhorst. Longmire and Rock have got the goals for North. Russell can't get it away. Scott's tackle on him okay. Held him up. Brown and Scott getting involved for a moment. Armstrong matching up Brown. There are pairs of very good players on one another right around this ground tonight. McKernan, prominent early. High ball, didn't go very far. Watson was in the action. Richardson flew. Allison he left on the ground. Armstrong again caught. Hassel had to get rid of it. Allison with him. Brown on the bottom. Tried to get a little one to Buckley. Then Scott tried to go through. And Allison, and the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. At half forward left for North Melbourne. There are a couple of goals in front of Collingwood early. Remembering both teams came into the match high on winning form, whether it was great form. was harder to tell because of the opposition. Richardson's kick didn't go very far. Armstrong goes long to fall forward. Carey's got it. Well, Longmire was in a wrestle with Pert, and Carey, against the tide, as he so often does, has taken the mark.
He's the major possession winner on the ground at the moment with 7 already. Fantastic figures. And I think most people, when they looked at this game, they just thought to themselves, well, Collingwood don't appear to have anybody to mind Carey. Pretty even in all other areas. And right at the moment, he looks to be the difference between the two combinations.
The captain asserting his authority early on this match. He's got it. It's an ominous start, isn't it? Not only for Carey, but for the match. North with a fly on Collingwood. How different to last week.
This is the way it eventuates. Was interested in this one. The umpire actually blew the whistle there for a mark. The ball must have travelled all of 4.5 metres, but that's the mark that counted. Wayne Carey, as you said, Bruce, running with the flight of the ball, takes a lot of courage and did it well.
Against McKernan. They both went early. McKernan gets the tap. Patterson on the left. Not very far. Fairly good take, actually. Moncourse harded him, but fair. Well done by Allison to thump it forward. Carey stood his ground. Left-hand handball. Stevens under pressure. Blakey does like to kick a long goal. High one. And a behind. 3-5 to 2-3.
We spoke about Damien Moncourse at the start of the game, what an important role he would have in the middle of the ground. But right at the moment, he just isn't getting his hand on the ball first.
Gary Pert, another beautiful long kick from full-back. Moncourse is marked between right half-back and centre wing. May elect to transfer play. Oh, assessing it better there lately. He read that and was able to chop it off for the Kangaroos. Can go short and set it up. Nichols, he's a pretty good kick on the run. Trent Nichols, a beautiful kick. Goes to the line. It looks a goal for North Melbourne. He is a very good kick on the run, Trent Nichols. And that was beautifully done by Laidley from half-back.
Yeah, North Melbourne have tried to expose Collingwood's defenders by throwing Trent Nichols on and off the ground with Capuano. And obviously it's paid dividends there. Nichols is now being picked up by Shane Watson, who previously was on Glenn Archer.
Margin back to 14 points, 4-5, 2-3. Nichols being used as a pinch hitter here. Moncourse. Rock. Tough tackle. Well done by Russell to squeeze one away. Richardson. Smith was hard and very, very good. Good take by Anderson, 2 down low. And kicks it quite beautifully to Longmire. Now North Melbourne having a nice little patch. Longmire too far out. He's at about 85, 90 metres. Kicks into centre half forward. Was Stevens being held on to. Nichols, could he kick a second one? Left foot, geez, a good kick. Have a look at that around the body. Well, that stings, doesn't it? When a bloke comes off the bench and within a minute he gives you a 3-goal lead.
Jared, it's all very well to swap these players on the interchange bench, but they've still got to be able to do the job for you, and Nichols has been terrific.
Well, he has. He's an opportunist. Thought there was a free kick there against Big Moncourse, but that one has certainly worked. And perhaps Collingwood are going to have to use John Hassel on Trent Nichols.
Moncourse favoured by the second bounce, then taps it for Russell. Dispossessed. Mark Richardson can't get his foot to it, and it's held up quite near the centre of the ground. It's just trundled its way forward into Collingwood's forward zone by about 15 metres.
Longmire now a bit up the ground, Jared, and they've swapped Mark Stevens and Glenn Archer around at full forward a couple of times.
Ruck contest, not clear by McKernan. Schwass and Fairley share it. Fairley on the end of it. Kick goes to Nichols again. Handball into the path of Anthony Rock. Clear. Well balanced there by Hassel. His kick close to the line. Patterson does well, but can't control the footy. And it will be thrown in on centre wing, and Collingwood have made a change.
Yeah, Chad Liddell coming off the ground. And Brad Rowe coming on, just trying to pinch a goal as well.
McKernan in the front posse. Monkhorst at the back. Big punch by Damien Monkhorst. Gatherers by Fairley. Fairley's kick is high. In towards half forward. The mark is taken by Aaron James rather laconically in the finish. Kicks across the half-back line and Watson is marked. Look to give away the hand pass. Now will be forced to kick under pressure. A wobbly punt kick. The forwards don't like them very much. Tidied up by Anderson, then Laidley. And away go the Kangaroos. Ross Smith on the end of a chain of hand passes.
And good kick to Rock. Can size up the opportunity. Pops it up towards Carey. Just strength then against Kosiska. Just pushed him away in the end.
It all comes down to poor disposal. The Scott Russell kick into the forward line was very ordinary. Resulted in a turnover. And the ball coming quickly into an open North Melbourne forward line sets up Wayne Carey one out against Gavin Kosiska, and he's going to win it almost every time.
After he kicks this goal, if we've got a second, I'll ask you, are you allowed to do that? Just push your opponent out of the road and mark the ball?
Carey from about 52. Great looking kick. And just hitting the post. What a terrific kick by Carey.
Probably theoretically, Robbo, you're not, but both players were in the wrestle department. They were having the show of strength, and I think Carey just won out.
Fair enough.
5-6 to 2-3.
I just asked the question, Jared. Gary Pert's kicking towards half-back Monkhorst. Good mark.
Need the next goal, Collingwood.
He's at right half-back. There's a North Melbourne player down. The kick goes short. Kosiska is marked between right half-back and centre wing, and that player looks as though it could be Schwass. This is Kosiska with the ball for the Magpies. A high kick towards half-forward. Where are those crummers for Collingwood? It could be Paul Williams. Will it sit? Yes, he's tackled from behind. Ross Smith was the tackler. He didn't have the football, according to the umpire. Well, that is a questionable decision.
It's not a brave one.
Paul Williams has the free kick for Collingwood, and he's well within scoring distance. Beautiful young
player. A lot closer than us, Robbo, but it did look as if Paul Williams grabbed hold of the ball. Let's just have a look.
Well, I would have just called play on, because I think both players could have been slightly in error, but the free kick is with Williams. Very difficult angle. Critical kick for the Magpies. Williams kicks for goal. I think he's done that nicely. A goal to Paul Williams. And Collingwood edge just that little bit closer.
News and views from the men that make it all happen. AFL Game Day, part of Sunday's footy feast.
15 points through Paul Williams. 5-6, 3-3. As Gerard Healy said, they needed the next goal. Well, they got that one. Scott's kick was held up. Quick kick by Patterson. Front spot now. Williams onto it. Still Williams. Blakey. Kick didn't go far. Anderson on hands and knees. Was called play on for not going far enough. Nichols with a couple of second quarter goals. Or Schwass, who did hurt himself a moment ago. Seemed to lack concentration for a moment then, and Richardson's up and under was no good at all. And Anderson got it at half-back. He has been outstanding, Anderson. Kicks the ball out wide, looking towards Schwass. Patterson was there, and right. Patterson mopped up pretty well, bounced the ball in a hurry. He's at about 55, goes for Rocker, good kick. Well played, Mickey Martin, because Rocker was in the box seat, and Martin did it very well to turn around and punch the ball out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Collingwood deep in attack. Rocker at the back. Rowe brought on to kick a goal. Snaps and just misses. Brad Rowe, only 9 goals in his 10 games going into this one. Sort of player that you'd think would have to average close to 2 a match to maintain a position. 5-6, 3-4.
Gee, North, after kicking the first 3 goals, looked as though they may have taken this game by the scruff of the neck, but Collingwood have fought back. North have just added 2 goals since then. Collingwood have kicked 3 themselves. Kick forward by Fairley. Gathered beautifully by Nichols. Nichols off the left foot. Kicks high in the direction of Longmire. Does well. Just had the drop on Aaron James there, Johnny Longmire. He's 50 metres from goal. He thumps it. It'll go close to the line. Carey nearly took the mark. It's all clear behind.
Not happy either.
Well, I don't blame him. I think that was worthy of a few words by the North Melbourne captain. And Gary Pert kicks in from that behind, which eventually is classified as rushed. Graham Wright kicks it down towards the wing where Williams has taken a safe chest mark for Collingwood.
Starting to get some touches, Williams. Beautiful kick to Gavin Brown. Collingwood building.
They've got to play, Bruce. He's got to keep poking the ball around, getting possession, running into open space.
Rock of the target, went early, one hand in the end. Mickey Martin back under it against the flow, little give. G. Anderson held up this time, got away with it. Martin just ripped it away. Well played by Mickey. Back to Longmire. Martin, slow old handball to Stevens at half-back. Feinted one handball, back onto the favoured left. And gets distance. Carey in the box set. Krasiska comes in. Play on called. Hassel. Rock with him. Hassel just shepherds in the end for Brown. And I reckon North will be pretty happy with that. It's out of play.
Anderson a bit lucky there. He wasn't penalised for holding the ball at half forward for Collingwood.
5-7, 3-4, 37 to 22. Nichols with a couple of goals in this term, and Rocker with a couple at either end of the ground. A real battle here. There's a sensational start to this match with Mickey Martin and Dermot Brereton at it before the first bounce.
And speaking of Dermot, he's come out to centre half forward, and Mark Richardson's gone down into the square in tandem with Sav Rocker.
Bounce of the ball, nearly up to half forward for North Melbourne. Monkhorst does well down to Brown. Into the clear for Hassel. He's pretty quick. Can he get around onto his right foot? No, he's tackled. Nearly dragged off the football. Taken by Rock. He's kicked to the 50-metre line. Good contest between Hassel and Carey. And the ball eventually, no, it's not forced over just yet. Hassel will get a chance. He kicks it. Mongrel punt back to the wing. Well done, Williams. He loves running with the footy. But Stevens chased him beautifully. The kick by Paul Williams to half forward. It's bashed back in the direction of Brereton. Can't get past the tackle. Gets it to Rowe. Rowe over the top. Collingwood build up pretty good. Can Patterson finish? No. Gee, that looked good for the Magpies. But bad luck there for Stephen Patterson. He's kicked two behinds in that Collingwood scoreline of 3-5. North Melbourne 5-7. Margin 14 points.
Classic example of a player just taking the punt and not standing side by side. His man, Anthony Stevens, just trying to read the play a little bit better than Williams, who he's trying to take out of the game. Quick kick came out of the pack, and Williams just had that 5-yard break. And that was what started that Collingwood 4-0 forward.
Oh. G. Swass was given a warning, then panicked a bit. Orchard, can he get it back? Smith's got it around the body. Monkhorst sets himself.
Shepherd.
Against Stevens, free kick Monkhorst at 50. Collingwood coming back strongly late in the second quarter. Centering kick, Rocker, the target. He's got it. Well, if he goes back and bangs this one through, it'll tighten things up with 6 minutes to go.
Well, a few doubts about this bloke's future midway through the season last year. He still kicked plenty of goals. But when you see him take a mark like that under pressure, he's been given a push, but he's still got the presence and the ability to take the ball. Well, there is no limits on this bloke's performance down the track.
Rocker to go for his third in the term. Doesn't time it at all. Kicked it very poorly. So Collingwood wasting chances. A real anti-climax there. And the team has battled so hard. And the build-up was so good. It's 5-7 to 3-6.
Well, at least they're getting their hands on a bit of the football. Ross Smith.
Just don't see him miss goals.
No, it was a very poor kick, wasn't it, in the circumstances?
Umpire giving him a warning again.
Ross Smith now kicks in. Out towards the far half-back flank area. Good mark taken by Mark Richardson. Man in front had two grabs. Short pass, all right. Oh, Patterson dragged to the ground by Laidley. Orchard gets it back to Brereton. What can Dermot do? The little kick, all right, Brad Rower's mark. Within scoring distance, difficult angle, similar to the one that confronted Paul Williams about 5 minutes ago.
Well, chances in front of goal are pretty hard earned tonight, so Collingwood wouldn't want to miss two in a minute. Very demoralising for all the hard work of the midfielders and the defenders if they see chances like this one and Sav Rockers go begging.
Good little kick there by Dermot Brereton to set this up for Brad Rowe. And And I think it's been mentioned already that he is a goal kicker. He's in the team for that reason, but he's missed across the face. And the behind on the scoreboard for Collingwood. That's Brad Rose, second behind so far. So at least the Magpies are level on behinds, but I'm sure Lee Matthews would like that goal tally to get up and then get past North Melbourne's. It may be out of their reach in this second term. North Melbourne get it wide. Blakey, handball. Gee, they've got some space here. Scholl.
Away. Right up to centre wing. Gee, runs a long time between the second one and the kick. Front spot was Richardson. Good play, Rock, Nichols, Schwartz. Could hurt them here. Doesn't time it and misses it. Out of play. Really was within kicking distance.
You talk about the little things in football. I was just watching Patterson on the zone defence. They kicked it initially out to the southern stand, and what's a common trend now is they come quickly back to the other side. Well, Patterson just left his man for a while, or his area, and that allowed North to get the ball out.
Moncourse against Carey, happy to thump it straight back. Collingwood have kicked 4 consecutive points in this term, and at least 2 of them have been relatively easy. So the 2-goal margin could have been tighter. They wouldn't want North to get a late goal. Moncourse didn't quite get it clear. Hassel, as he so often does, takes it with one hand. Moncourse, can he break the Archer tackle? Richardson went safety first, right way to go. Williams and Stevens. Williams' little handball, kept it in cleverly to Brown. Oh, well done, Brown. Magnificently done to Williams. He was running backwards and he timed it beautifully. Then to Russell. Exciting stuff, Collingwood. Look at this. Krasiska on the end of it. Go and kick it, Gavin. Go long. He does to Rocker. Richardson. Front spot. Not paid.
It's pretty tough to get one.
Oh, the build-up by Collingwood. Brown pirouetting and going backwards, and look at Richardson being held onto and then all over him.
Oh, gee whiz, that's a brave decision. In the right forward pocket for the Magpies. Richardson goes for the ruck work, knocked away by Ross Smith. Brad Rowe! Gee whiz. They can't buy a goal, Collingwood. Third behind, kick by Rowe. 3-8 to 5-7. Margin 11 points in favour of North Melbourne. Anderson to kick in. I reiterate that North Melbourne kicked the first 3 goals of the game. They have proceeded to 5-7. Collingwood 3-8. Very, very tight contest. Kick in, punched away. Richardson to Russell. Back onto his right foot. Kicks in the direction of Patterson, and a good mark. Bearing down on him, he stood his ground. And he's marked only 30 metres out, pretty well straight in front. And surely Collingwood will get their 4th goal as a result of this kick.
Collingwood worked very hard to get Stephen Patterson over South Australia. He's come over as a not a young fellow, but someone with plenty of senior experience in the SANFL, and hasn't looked out of place in the big time.
Patterson from 30 metres kicks and gets Collingwood's 4th goal. So just 5 points in it with 2 minutes left in the first half.
And what a vital 2 minutes it could be, Robbo, because a couple of quick goals here to North Melbourne would probably give them a match-winning lead. But if Collingwood can snag another one, well, we've really got the game set up for what could be a magnificent second half.
Five points the margin. Collingwood doing very well in this term. If you take that 1 minute of Trent Nichols away when he kicked his couple of goals, it's been Collingwood all the way in this second quarter.
I think they've turned it round in the middle too, Bruce, in the second half. They're just starting to win the ball out of the centre. There's been a lot of goals kicked, but North were dominant in the first part of this quarter.
Moncourse and Capuano. Moncourse taking his run will give a free kick away. Capuano's Brian Chin saying to Shepherd, by just running and bumping him. Now Schwartz feeds off him, runs away. Good-looking kick to centre-half forward. Kurt was a flyer. Longmire got hold of it. Krasiska, brave tackle from the front. James's handball. Brown has to get rid of it now. Moncourse and Blakey in there. Held up. as Gerard said, goal either way here. So important in a low-scoring game. 5-7-4-8. Blakey running with Buckley for most of the first half now. Changed Stevens off and Allison back on. Hoping maybe to pinch a goal off Allison. Buckley, he could be pretty happy if this can get towards the boundary line. It didn't quite. Robert Scott, centering kick was a good one. Gave his forwards a chance. McKernan, Carey, Armstrong on the left. Good kick goal. Important.
Only his 5th kick, Matthew Armstrong.
Well, the Buckley kick didn't have the legs, I guess, Gerard. 6-7-4-8.
Yeah, it was always a danger that North were going to, after Collingwood dominated for the last 10 minutes, that North were just going to come out of the centre and pinch one, which with 50 seconds to go, you'd have to say they've done that. Bit of a fumble there from Wayne Carey, just hoiked it out in the direction, fortunately, of a left footer.
Good kick by Armstrong. The play goes on now from the centre. Kick forward by Brown. Awkward bouncing ball. Gets past nearly everyone. Richardson does well. Brad Rowe left it behind. Fairley the hand pass. Ross Smith, the kick for safety. Goes outside 50. Gatherers by Schwass. He does well. Gets it along the line about 15 or 20 metres towards North Melbourne's goal. And the boundary umpire will throw it in between wing and left half forward for Collingwood.
Graham Wright's gone on to Brett Ellison. Wayne Schwass now on to Paul Williams. What a combination that would be.
Just half a minute left. Brerett, handball clear for Wright. Can't get past. Hand pass. Look for Buckley. Armstrong got it to Ellison. Ellison in turn to Nichols. He kicks with lovely penetration. Gets 50 metres. Up toward full forward. Punched away by Krasiska. Rebounds for Carey. Carey gets around. Snapshot by Carey. It looks good. It's a goal. Wayne Carey. 2 goals close to half-time gives North Melbourne a very handy break. They're 7-7, Collingwood 4-8.
And one would suspect we've only got time for the ball to be bounced down here, but look, this goal was created by pressure on the wing when the ball was in dispute. Brereton got a handball away, but just super pressure by North resulted in them winning the footy and a goal.
Well, for all of Collingwood's work in that term, they've reduced the margin by a paltry 2 points. Carey getting a late goal and Armstrong getting one about a minute before. So North, after leading by 19 at quarter time, have stretched it out to 17. Wayne Schwass has had 7 and 7, so he's had plenty of the footy. 7-7-4-8 as we watch them go off the ground.
And there's North Melbourne. They'd be pretty pleased with those last 2 goals in the last minute, because it certainly puts a pretty hard-earned buffer between them and Collingwood. I thought it was Collingwood's quarter, well, particularly the last 15 minutes, where they worked so hard to claw themselves back to within a goal of the lead. Dermot Brereton, well, he hasn't had many kicks. His presence is always felt, of course. But Lee Matthews has got the job in front of him. If they are to win, they're going to have to work doubly hard, because they're going to have to win it on the ground. The runners will have to work overtime.
So at half-time on Friday night football at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, North Melbourne are leading Collingwood at 7-7 to 4-8. Half of Friday night football about to commence. North leading by 17 points. Had a bit of everything the first half. Monkhorst out of the centre. Rowe couldn't. Laidley off the ground. Only as far as Patterson, who played pretty well in the first half. Kick didn't get very far, only to Ross Smith. Laidley runs away. Left-hand handball good. Blakey has to backtrack. Then thumps long, as he so often does now. Monkhorst getting back to go with Carey. Got himself to the front. Capuano. Brown took it from him to James. Aaron James. Short to Buckley. Buckley at centre wing, normally good kick, gets Rowe. Patterson's over the top, he should go to him quickly now. He does, it's a terrible kick, Brad Rowe. He should hang his head in shame with that one. He had 2 blokes clear at centre half forward, and he's turned it over. Here's Archer at centre wing. Thumping kick, good one too, look at this. Gives North a chance, over the top now. Richardson against the flow. Still Richardson pushed out of it. Still Richardson. Had a second go. Got it to Aaron James. Little one. Back into the centre, but North have got it. Robert Scott.
Gee, they've wasted some chances, Collingwood there. Short kick. Well, maybe this could pay off for them. Williams chips in. Oh, he slips over. Had an airy. North Melbourne through Schwass. Shrugs the tackle and then kicks with the left foot to half forward. Monkhorst on his chest. 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Kick it quickly. Brad Rose on his own on the wing. Now Ross Smith comes down to pick him up.
And he's on the way to the bench, so he's pretty keen to get a kick.
In short, mark taken by James. Runs on. He's pretty skillful, this kid. To Russell. In turn to Hassel. Get rid of it. No, back to Russell. A misunderstanding between he and Orchard. At centre-half forward for Collingwood. The umpire will bounce. Butcher has taken his place on the field. And it is Brad Rowe, was it, Gerard, that came off? Correct way. Nearly up to centre-half forward for the Magpies. Umpire Brian Sheehan will bounce the ball. Richardson is number 16. A big punch to the advantage of Patterson. Patterson's kick to the square. Nearly taken by Scholl. North will give away a behind, surely. Mickey Martin takes him through a rush behind to Collingwood.
And they're just costing themselves. There's Brad Rowe paying the price for a pretty poor kick. He kicked it as his weight and momentum was going back, but that should have been a quick handball there to Paul Williams, who certainly would have goal.
Schwass short, gets to Fairley in the back pocket, gives it back to Schwass, so not much gain here. Away he goes. This is a good kick though.
It's their set play, Bruce. They go to one side, then quickly back to the other. They're using it pretty effectively.
Blakey got it from Armstrong and gave it to Anderson. Anderson's neat kick to centre half forward. McKernan well played that time by Pert. Allison got a hand on it, down in the Scott direction. Short, Nichols runs away. You would back him from there. Gives it a hook, but he's kicked the goal. Well, what a valuable player Trent Nichols has been tonight. Back into the team, 3 goals.
And 3 valuable ones too. He's pretty dangerous in front of goals. And I'm sure he'd like to get some more time on the field. But Dennis Pagan likes using him on and off the bench. But he was rewarded in the second half by starting for his efforts in that second quarter.
Done well, Gerard. It wasn't all that successful after leaving Richmond and going to the West Coast. Certainly has resurrected his career to a certain extent here with North Melbourne. The bounce favours Monkhorst. His punches to half forward. Butcher dragged down by Ross Smith. And Ross Smith will get a free kick. Butcher not happy. North Melbourne get on with the caper. Away to Wayne Schwass. Off his right foot, good kick. Goes past all players. Carey, unselfish. Oh, he just missed Nichols. Rock, back to Nichols. Nichols hand pass to no one in particular. Gary Pert with a bit of strength. Gets the handball out to Williams. Williams can run away for the Magpies and kicks it out towards the wing. Making good position is Russell. Can look to hand pass over the top. No, now he plays on. Can he get passed onto his right foot? Yes. Towards full forward. No mark to Brereton. The ball spills. Ropper's little kick into the path of Patterson. He's dragged to the ground by Scholl. And the umpire will throw it in the right forward pocket for the Magpies. They must get a goal here, Collingwood. They trail 4-9 to 8-7 early in this third quarter.
Biggest margin of the match so far, Robbo.
North Melbourne. 3 goals to Nichols, taken by Richardson. Here's a chance for Butcher. Just come onto the ground. A wobbly punt kick is touched close to the line. Through for a behind kick by Kent Butcher. Collingwood need goals. Schwass will kick it in. Collingwood manning up just a little better here. No, he's still able to get short to Laidley. Back to Schwass. Close to the line. Beautiful kick. Too short there for Armstrong. Over the top, Richardson. Free kick to the North Melbourne player. Is it? It is Matthew Armstrong, yes.
And that's the other set play out of defence for North Melbourne. Schwass just gives a little chip kick and then goes and gets it the second time.
Carey the target. Capuano in the front spot. Well done by Buckley. Held his ground. Got a good handball away to Russell. He slipped like Russell had. Like Williams had, I mean. Then James just kicks a shot. And that's been the difference, hasn't it, between the two teams? Collingwood have made mistakes under pressure, admittedly, but North have just been a bit cleaner. Gets it short. Burns on the ground for Collingwood. From Norwood, same club as Patterson in their first season at the club. Laidley to centre wing. Moncourse effective. Krasiska and Carey. Carey worked to the front. Krasiska tried to hold him up. Carey tried to get a slip one away. Fairley's handle okay. Armstrong. Archer weaves a passage, then gets good distance. Longmire, Pert in the wrestle enables McKernan to come into the front. Pert and getting some help from Hassel, still in play. Nichols, McKernan, Capuano, slung as he kicked, and the effect is that it's out of bounds on the full. 8-7, 4-10 goals are still mighty hard to get here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Oh, very important that Collingwood just keep concentrating very, very hard. Richardson goes short and finds Burns. Player at centre half back Watson, but Burns goes long out towards the wing. Oh, Moncourse not favoured by that kick. Capuano was marked. Capuano quickly on to left half forward Carey. Pretty well on his own to take that kick. Then kicks in towards centre half forward. Looks for Longmire. Good mark. He had his eyes on it and he went hard at it and took a strong mark. North Melbourne players rushed to Carey, but gee, that was a good mark by Johnny Longmire.
Yeah, it's a good lead from Longmire. He knew as soon as Carey marked the ball that he was going to be the man, so he went off early, and a solid mark. It's been probably reasonably well held by Gary Pert, and a good battle.
Longmire has kicked one. His second shot at goal is a behind. He hits the post. 1 goal, 1 to John Longmire. So one of our champion tennis players, Richard Fromberg, having a look on there, Bruce.
Yes, great deeds in the Davis Cup for Australia. Now, Hassel is close to the boundary line. Now he chips to Richardson, who's off, but going to get run down, gets it away, but terribly to Armstrong, who just kicks it straight back over his head and misses.
Well, that would have buried them.
A knockout blow, you would have thought. I can't believe it, Armstrong. He kicked that late goal in the second quarter before half-time, which was North's 6th goal, and then Carey got the 7th right on half-time, but that one a miss, so Richardson can breathe a little easier for the moment. Pert goes out in the Moncourse direction, gets hold of it, long handball, good to Russell, running away, bounces once, a second time. Allison's chasing hard, but he's held up. Russell goes to full forward. Richardson couldn't quite get back. Brereton high tackle, free kick. He just did it beautifully to Derby. He felt it coming and he didn't really duck, but he just slightly went down and copped it around the shoulder. He felt it magnificently. First tackle at top of the arm. Oh. Well, I think that's what the crowd were going off at. Was he searching for the footy?
I think he was.
Now, normally, he's good in this situation. Absolute must goal. Tight angle. Has to kick it, you'd think. He's a beauty, that Brereton. 5-10 to 8-9.
Let's just have another look at this free kick.
Barry Naylor of Indigo.
Here's the goal.
Sean Osa.
And a pretty good shot it was. Just getting away from Craig Scholl, who's had a pretty good game on Brereton this evening.
So back to 17 points. Left-hand effective tap by McKernan. Couldn't clear the area. Schwass, Burns, back to Capuano. Capuano's kick across his left shoulder towards half forward. Back went Aaron James. Handballed out of clearance there by Hassel. Krasiska, Brown, still not out of trouble for Collingwood. Now Krasiska gets an effective kick. Gathered by Richardson was very good, and he ran away from Fairley, kicked it to half forward, and Rocker was marked. Now Sav, go back and get a goal. This could give your team the biggest lift they've had for the night. Pump this one, son.
Settle with that.
Well, the Pies are trailing by 17 points, and Rocker goes long. It's a goal. It's a beautiful kick. 3 goals to Rocker, and the Maggies trail by 11 points.
Round 8 of the Australian Touring Car Championships comes from Malala. Sunday on 7 Sports.
Again now, Collingwood coming back. 8, 9, 6, 10. Monkhorst, McKernan. Centre square all important. Burns to Buckley. It ricocheted away. Burns getting important footy to centre half forward. Worked underneath it, Rocker. Martin claims it, gets it. It's been a good duel. Rocker with 3 and missed a very easy one north with space. Anderson so often tonight. Away. Then to half forward with a long kick. Carey and Krasiska. Krasiska judged it fairly well. Got to the right spot. Richardson's handball to Monkhorst. Good mark in the centre square by the Maggies. Buckley and Blakey have been close all night. Buckley gathering possessions. Out to Krasiska. Chance here to Watson. Watson goes with a long, low one. Rocker. One hand to ground. Rocker off the ground and behind. 8, 9 to 6-11. Rocker with 3 goals, 3. 57 to 47.
Both Brereton and Rocker stationary in the square. And surely Matthews would be wanting one of them to lead forward just to create either some space for the guy that stays back or get the ball on the chest.
Laidley short kick in finds Anderson. Back to Laidley. Laidley still on the full back line. Now kicks high in towards the centre of the ground. Krasiska a big punch, but only back as far as Fairley. Fairley assesses and then kicks wide. Mark taken by Nichols. Nichols sweeps around onto that left foot and gets good distance again to half forward. No mark. The ball spills for Monkhorst. Watson. Tackle. Capuano. Handball. Archer. Snapshot by Glenn Archer. Looks pretty good. A goal to North Melbourne. Glenn Archer kicks his first goal and North Melbourne steady. They get their 9th. They lead 9-9 to 6-11.
And just have a look at this. This is the tackle of the night from Matthew Rock. An absolute beauty. And it's just clear why tackling is such an important part of our game, because it creates goals. Take your hat off to Matthew Rock on that occasion. Anthony Rock, I should say.
There's Anthony Rock, Jared, who's probably been given a terrific rap by Dennis Pagan. Stevens has come on for him, but Rock's tackle outstanding. Armstrong, now Collingwood have got to get the next one. Hassel, well done. Russell getting kicks in this turn to centre wing. Butcher attacks it hard. Couldn't quite keep it in. And right into his dugout. Throw in right in front of us. North of 9-9 to 6-11. There's Anthony Rock. Pretty good tonight.
Tackle. Fantastic tackle.
8 kicks, 3 handballs and a goal, an early one. He's had 3 effective tackles as well. Blakey did it well. Oh, well done by Buckley. Schwass, good kick actually. Schwass is very good in that situation. Brilliantly done Archer to Scott. Rode it all right. Archer and Burns. Archer got held onto for the moment. Archer persistent. Still Archer. Pushed it out in the Armstrong direction. Armstrong gets a second go at it. Russell on top of him now. And tremendous endeavour then by a lot of the players, particularly Archer from North Melbourne.
And that little bloke Hassel was an absolute pest, Bruce, and that's what he does very, very nicely.
Living up to his name, wasn't he?
He was hassling magnificently. The bounce by the umpire at left half forward for North Melbourne. Up high was Capuano, had his hand on Damien Montford's shoulder. And the free kick, well, Collingwood fans cheering for that, but they've had about 10 free kicks to 5 in the first half. Good mark taken by Richardson. No, it's not paid. Patterson's quick kick is a mongrel punt kick to half forward. It rebounds back to the centre. Armstrong's got a chance. Off the left foot. Pinpoint accuracy finds Carey. Carey is a long way from goal. He kicks back to where he normally plays. Centre half forward, good mark. McKernan, too tall. Now, I think, Bruce, in the first quarter, you thought he was a chance, but he was kicking from about 50 metres on that occasion. He's kicking from about 40 metres this time, and surely he will get the distance. And he's got the accuracy. McKernan kicks his first goal, and North Melbourne steady once again, 10-9 to 6-11. It's back out to 22 points.
And Armstrong really is playing his best footy for the game in this third quarter. And aren't they blessed, North Melbourne, with tall timber, talented big fellows that can kick goals. Carey to McKernan. Capuano in the middle.
Margin again out to 22 points. Monkhorst out of the centre. Richardson worked to the front. Back to Burns. Swept out the handle. Probably should have kicked. Well played by Robert Scott. So Armstrong and Scott, the two recruits, are doing well. McKernan back to Armstrong. Fantastic kick. Oh, that is superb. And a terrific stretch by Long John.
That's as good a football you've seen this year.
That a good kick. And as Bruce said, it was just the mark made the kick, basically. But, well, it comes back. You've got to finger Burns. It was just a shocking handball. It was a hit and hope job.
Longmire goes for his second goal from 45 metres. So the Kangaroos have raced away now in surely what's been the passage of footy for the night. Some great play coming up with Scott and Armstrong and then Longmire.
Well, that was the handball we were talking about. Just presented the easy turnover. Have a look at this for the kick of the night.
Great stretch by Longmire, and then capitalised by kicking the goal. 11-9 plays, 6-11. Magpies got the job in front of them now. Monkhorst down to Williams. Williams a high kick. And nearly the mark, yes it is, to Richardson. Handball to Scott Russell. They must get something out of this. Russell goes across the half-forward line and finds Brereton. No drama there. Dermott. He's already kicked the goal in this third quarter. Can he get his second? It'll take a good kick to score. By gee, it's not bad. He has capitalised. He's got his second goal. That was a very good kick by Brereton, as was his first goal. Collingwood 7-11. North Melbourne 11-9.
Well, set up by pretty good play from Scott Russell, who just waited for something to appear and then kicked the ball to space, allowing the old legs of Dermott Brereton to just carry him forward. Took a good mark and a pretty good kick, but just on the 50.
Back to 22 points again. 11-9, 7-11. Brereton with a couple of third-quarter goals. Brown and Archer go for it. Archer held his ground particularly well. Blakey's little give was a good one. Swass out of the centre. Carey's 10th mark for the night. You just know Krasiska's in terrific form, but this bloke's too big a package for him to handle. Krasiska's not lacking confidence or touch, but Carey, taller, stronger, and in top form. Burns off. Rowe coming back on. Carey goes for his third goal for the night. That's a terrific kick, matching Brereton. He's playing a big one as the captain.
And the sign said it all there. And North Melbourne just seem to be able to answer every challenge that Collingwood can present. Similar situation in the second quarter as Carey just lets one go from outside the 50. Second quarter, Collingwood came hard, but North Melbourne answered.
Out once again to 28 points in favour of North Melbourne. Blakey, did he drop the ball? No, the umpire called play on. Brown, handball, nearly for Williams. Butcher gathers, then played an airy once again. Attempted kick off the ground, only as far as Anthony Stevens. Monkhorst in a bit of trouble. Forcing it forward again with Stevens. Scott it is that goes into effect to Shepherd. Patterson in the middle of the action. Wright dives on it. Away goes Scott. Well, rides the tackle from Butcher pretty well. Stevens in trouble. Russell applied good pressure. Anderson pushed off the ball, but goes after it again. Gets it back for Robert Scott. Scott a tumbling punt kick towards half forward. Goes past all the players there. Hassel first to recover. Got the ball in underneath. And has been awarded a free kick. Unfair tackle on John Hassel, according to the umpire. Short kick finds Brown.
On the left, good kick to James in the centre. Collingwood trying to build up here. late in the third quarter, needing a couple before three-quarter time. Krasiska running off Carey. Good-looking kick. Brereton the target. Got underneath it. Rocker tried to push it forward. North's defence has been very good all night. Stoic at the back. And Smith forcing it out. Fairly having a chuckle. They're a hardy lot, aren't they, that North Melbourne back line? Short back and sides in more ways than one, that group. 12-9, 7-11. Richardson has been pretty good. Robert Scott having a very good match. Back to centre wing. Watson, who has struggled tonight. Handball by Wright was good. Buckley sets himself. Brereton couldn't quite. Scholl did it all right. Chance now. Williams, great finisher normally. Back to the goals. And just bouncing away. Fairley and Patterson. And out of play. 12 goals, 9 to 7 goals, 11. 81 to 53. Fourth on the ladder North. 7 out of their last 8. 4 in a row. Playing Collingwood, who've won 5.5 out of their last 7.
Rocker doing the ruck work. Does well. Throws it onto his right foot. Only went about 4 metres. Scholl kicks it back towards the centre of the ground. Buckley goes back. Couldn't control it. Anthony Stevens. Very hot there for McKernan. Buckley applies the pressure. Well done, Nathan Buckley. North Melbourne looked a real chance to clear from half-back. And Buckley harassed them to the stage that the ball is still at left half forward for Collingwood. 12-9 to 7-11. 28 points. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Oh, gee whiz, that was pretty hard stuff there by Craig. No, it's Armstrong at the bottom of the pack. And not happy with the attention he's receiving.
There's no doubt Collingwood came out with the intention of testing North Melbourne physically, but to North's great credit, they've certainly been up to the challenge.
Fairley doing the ruck work. Down to Archer. Kicked fairly well ineffective. Back goes Armstrong for another possession. Hand pass out in front of Stevens. Can't get past Graham Wright. Allison comes in to help out. Allison does well. That was very, very clever. Allison's kicked a half forward. Oh, Longmire, is that 50 metres against Hassel? It'll be very close to it, I would think. Yes. He had to do something to make Johnny Longmire earn it. But bang, crash, but no opera. John Longmire will kick from 10 metres out. No, he's going right back nearly onto the line. Well, that's strange, Gerard, because I thought that incident was outside 50 metres.
Yeah, about 2 metres outside.
So he takes him to the line. Longmire kicks the goal. Longmire's third. Collingwood fans not happy, but, well, Johnny Hassel maybe a little bit unfortunate, but Longmire kicks his third goal.
Split decisions, Robert, aren't they? It's pretty hard sometimes for the player to know exactly when to pull out or not. And this is just one of those cases where he was 99% committed. Here you see him coming in. Tough one for the umpire.
After tonight's game. Thank you.
13-9 to 7-11. Big margin now, isn't it? 34 points. North right on top. McKernan sets himself. Williams just held on to by Schwartz. He'll get it in the centre. Goes back there. Looks where Rocker is. Rocker leads wide. Williams kicks in the direction. Good kick. Gives him a chance. Great mark. Oh, it's a wonderful grab because he had to go early, didn't he, against Martin and hang in the air.
That was a big spring. Off balance too when he jumped. Just sets himself. He had the option here to just bump Martin forward, which he's done a couple of times with success tonight. Then just sets himself and running backwards still leaps pretty high, isn't he? Good athlete.
And a good kick by Paul Williams.
Absolute must, this one. Martin running well back from the mark and then running in. Rockers kicked 3 goals tonight. Good kick. He's got his 4th. They won't lie down.
Well, just another example of the ultimate value of getting that quick ball out of the centre. I thought it was a pretty soft one there for Paul Williams to get that free kick, but it was paid. It's been a few interesting decisions tonight. once again, just another look at the pure athleticism of the big Sav.
Another very good kick by Severio Rocker. And he's kicked his 4th goal, as Bruce has already said. Gavin Brown just forces it out of the centre. Fairly left it behind. Went in after it. Armstrong's got it. He's tackled by Williams, and they're in over the top. Mark Richardson not happy with Wayne Schwass. Matthew Armstrong at the bottom of the pack. North Melbourne affecting a change. Danilchenko to come on for Allison, and Liddell is preparing to come on for Collingwood. Less than 2 minutes left in the 3rd term.
Moncourse, Richardson thumps it on to half forward. Patterson. Now Smith mops up to Anderson. Impressive. Good handball. Armstrong's had a super 3rd quarter. Runs away with a bounce. Usually a great kick. That one, no. James. Collingwood have to hold it up here. They cannot afford North to get a goal. This is danger. McKernan and Moncourse. Laidley trying to get onto it. Well done, though, by Russell. Moncourse to right. Must use it effectively. Runs laterally, in trouble. The McKernan chase was good. Rather, it was Stevens. And Wright has made a mess of it. A real mess of it. As Blakey comes away now from centre-half back. Chips to Stevens. They've got to run on here. North can really make them pay. Armstrong weaves through the centre. Goes thump with a long one. Carey's in the front spot. Chris Siska went for a fly. Carey, no mark. He must know that wasn't a mark.
So why isn't holding the ball? He's got the foot. He doesn't try and get rid of it.
He got one in the 1st quarter. There's nothing wrong with having another go. Now this is just pure optimism from the King, but why not?
Now he takes it out of there, kicks it sideways. James. Longmire. Young Stevens. Gives it away. Pert will get a free. Well, wanted it, didn't get it. Longmire paddles. G. Armstrong's been quite magnificent. Back onto the left. Into the pocket. Stevens. Pert. Pert's got him. It's out. Throw in. Half forward right.
Just seconds left now in the 3rd term. Collingwood, well, they've struggled very, very hard. They've kicked 4 goals in this 3rd term, but North Melbourne have added 6. Chance for another goal to North. Nichols, he's a beautiful finisher. Just hooks it a little bit at the finish and kicks his first behind. 3 goals, 1 now to Trent Nichols. He is, along with Carey and Longmire, North Melbourne's leading goal scorers. Rocker has kicked 4 for Collingwood. Brereton has kicked 2. Gary Pert kicks in, goes straight down the ground. Oh, great mark taken by Brown. Jumped early, the siren sounds, but that was a magnificent effort by Brown. We'll have another look at the leap. Terrific play over the top of Carey. But it doesn't do the Magpies much good, because at 3/4 time, North Melbourne lead. They're 13-10-88. Collingwood are 8-11-59.
Sydney and the Saints, the Dockers and Melbourne. This week's 7 Sport double-header.
North Melbourne 13-10, Collingwood 8-11. 29-point margin. It was 19 at quarter time, 17 at half, so North stretched it by a couple of goals. Moncourse. Rowe, good slick handball to right. Gets onto the left now to half forward. Buckley was down there with Blakey. Blakey's handball a bit hot for Fairley. Oh, well done, Fairley. Under pressure. Kept his core and then banged it outside the 50. Brown's got it. Not paid. Oh, Stevens, gee, it looked a good mark. I was going to say he started the last quarter as he finished the 3rd. And he'll be disappointed, the captain. Nichols runs it out of play. Collingwood fans upset. They thought that Brown had a fair share of it. Just outside 50. Probably would have taken a great kick to have scored, but anyway, that's past history now.
And the umpire, I guess Bruce was in a much better position than we are. Stevens, and a bit of a dust-up. Armstrong getting rid of the ball. It rebounds back to Collingwood's half-forward line. Brad Rowe, kick it effectively. He goes across the line, too far. Rocker, Martin takes the football, shrugs the tackle. Gee, that was an important possession for Collingwood. Given up. Back goes James. Gets onto his left foot. A little lazily, but effectively finds Liddell. Away to Scott Russell. Running in support is Patterson. Can the Maggies get a goal out of this? Kick it now, Patterson. He does. Into the pocket, but too short. And dropping the mark fairly. Brereton making a contest. Well, they got a behind out of it. It was a scrounging job.
You really got to know when to bounce and when not to bounce. And on that occasion, Patterson should have looked up and seen Dermot Brereton on the burst. But because he elected to bounce the ball just around the 50, he really did throw all the forwards out of position.
Ross Smith eventually being warned by the umpire to kick it in.
Goes in the McKernan direction. Liddell held up by Schwass. Brown's handball good to Russell. Collingwood having a real dip in the first part of the last quarter, as they have had all night. Williams gets Moncourse.
That was a good kick.
Now Moncourse has got a loose player in the pocket, two of them. They could raffle it, or Patterson could go on. The other Collingwood player down there was Gavin Brown. Patterson's a pretty good kick for goal.
It's interesting, isn't it? Brown, the captain, allowing the youngster, first-year player, to take the mark.
Rock coming back on the ground for North. I say good kick for goal. He's kicked one tonight, missed a couple earlier, but he's kicked in the last 3 weeks. He kicked 4 goals 3 weeks ago and then 3 last week. Anderson off the ground for Rock. Patterson's kick, so important. He's got it. And you talked about him earlier, Gerard, a 24-year-old. He took his time coming across from Norwood, but he's done a good job this year, has Patterson. An important goal for the Maggies.
And it had to be Patterson going for the mark. Gavin Brown would have been just calling him back into it. He could see what was in front of him. Patterson didn't know what was coming from behind, so he had to go. And luckily, for all concerned, he converted.
Collingwood trail by 22 points. And the first score of the last term to the Maggies. Moncourse missed it. Brown is underneath there. Armstrong coming away with the ball, but the umpire decides on a bounce. Damien Moncourse just a little frustrated. Another change. Danilchenko off for North Melbourne. Allison back onto the ground. Moncourse gets a bit of a backhander to it, but it's kicked forward by Stevens. Oh, Carey. Well, Kosiska may have slipped, but gee, you very, very rarely see this guy on the ground, do you? He doesn't slip or slide or fall over very much at all. Terrific player, Wayne Carey. Another, well, certainly considerable Brownlow medal performance. Carey kicks for goal. He's kicked 3. He's hit the post. 3 goals, 3 to Wayne Carey. And he's hit the post on 2 occasions. 13-11 plays 9-12. Have a look at this. The way I look, Bruce, when those horses get beaten in a photo finish.
Kosiska, and I'm not with you, Robbo, on that occasion. Wouldn't happen too often. Rock. Schwass just too far for McKernan. James getting back. Still very young James. Likely type, isn't he? The 18-year-old works it to the boundary line. So North have hit the post 3 times. Longmire once and Carey twice. Longmire to the punt road end and Carey to the main scoreboard end. It's been a terrific night for footy. Huge crowd here. Looks well into the 60s. Rock back to centre half forward. Carey, oh, nearly a free kick, surely. Forced forward by Nichols and out of play in the pocket. 13-11, 9-12. Danilchenko sitting out. With Armstrong, I think. And Anderson. Well done by Longmire. Gave Carey a bit of a chance. Pert to cut it off. Has to kick quickly. Does. And gets rebound. Centre wing. Flight the back from Laidley. Chopped off by Russell. Vacant paddock here. Who's got the numbers? Martin will attack. Or has an airy. But fortunately, Ross Smith able to mop up and then kick very, very well. It was spot on to Rock.
Beautiful kick. Anthony Rock, his kick goes along the wing. The mark is taken by Stevens. I think Matthew Armstrong is on the ground, Bruce. That was Stuart Anderson on the bench. Carey at centre half forward. Oh, player on his own. Johnny Longmire That's a free kick anyway. Aaron James, I guess, Jared, inexperienced there. I think I've heard you say on many occasions, the player running back with the flight of the ball, the guy's going to take the mark. You've got to try and turn in the air without doing much interfering and make it look as though you're actually trying to have a go at the footy.
Well, that's the only option you've got. Otherwise, you're just going to give away a simple free kick.
Longmire has kicked 3. This certainly will end Collingwood's chances if he can kick this. He's got it. Longmire has kicked 4. And the margin back out to 29 points.
And you just have a look at this mark come free kick to Longmire. Now, it is a great skill and one that isn't practiced all that often for the defender to run with the flight of the ball, spin at the appropriate time and affect the spoil.
14-11, 9-12. Good return from Longmire tonight. 4 goals. Armstrong to Schwass to half forward. Tap on pretty good. Carey's give very good. Nichols to Archer. This to really drive it home. Well done. That's strength, isn't it? Being brought down in the tackle and been strong enough to keep it straight. 15-11 to 9-12. Second goal for Archer.
Now, we just see here one of the great strengths of Wayne Carey. I mean, he's got plenty, but not many centre-half forwards of his calibre have got the handball skills that he displays. I can think of only one other in Kelvin Templeton, who was such a dominating player in the early 80s, a champion, and now chief executive of the Sydney Swans.
And Johnny Longmire wasn't bad in that contest either, with a little tap on. Monkhorst takes it out of the ruck contest, kicks to full forward. Bouncing ball is awkward. Martin leaves it for Fairley. Fairley kicks it back, but the mark is taken there by Orchard. He plays on quickly, a bit of an up and under. Rowe over the top of Liddell on this occasion. And Brad Rowe, who we spoke about at half-time, only able to kick 3 behinds and has had what you would classify as an ordinary night. Brad Rowe, Monkhorst to come off the ground. Mark Richardson to take his place. Brad Rowe from 40 metres. Runs close to the man on the mark. Well, I don't know. I think he lost the plot there. I think as he walked back, he must have misplaced where the guy was on the mark. Lee Matthews on the phone. That kick went out of bounds on the full. Brad Rowe, 3 behinds and 1 out of bounds on the full. So if you're there to kick goals, you'd have to say that he's had a very average evening. Schwass to kick it back in for the Kangaroos.
To half-back. Richardson, good take. Just come on. Replacing Monkhorst. Jared mentioned earlier, he's been all right tonight, Richardson. He's taken 5 marks. Centering kick. Rocker at the back. Brereton coming in. Rock held up, got it to Martin. To Laidley. This defence has been good. They've restricted Collingwood to 9 goals. Laidley backtracks, changes direction, kicks it to Stevens and gets him. Stevens' little handball to Smith. Right, trying to put the pressure on. Rossi Smith, a good kick to Fairley. Well done, Ian Fairley. On to Robert Scott, away he goes with a bounce. Then chips it very well to Longmire, who is in excellent touch tonight, is John Longmire. He's been so certain, hasn't he, in marking the footy.
Well, I think that's the best indication of how John Longmire's going is his marking, and tonight it's been as good as I've seen.
Not a good kick. He's just missed a lot. Gee, that was a goal shot, brother. That was an absolute shot, wasn't it?
Gee, don't remind me, boys.
15-11 to 9-12.
Well, we can smile, but the Maggies, you know, they've thrown everything at North Melbourne and still haven't been able to come up with the answers. Russell's kick has been marked by Richardson. He plays on, runs across the half-back line, kicks in towards the centre of the ground. No mark to Orchard. Armstrong tackled, but able to get the hand pass away. Stevens looking a little easy now for the Kangaroos, but a rebound for Collingwood. Hassel running down towards the half-forward area. Short pass. Goes past Brereton and Fairley. Rocker and Martin. Well, Rocker maybe misjudged that. And Mickey Martin able to take it over for a boundary throw-in. See, the start of the game was electrifying with Martin and Brereton clashing even before the ball was bounced. Right forward pocket boundary throw-in. Rocker up over the top was Brown. Still a chance there for Rocker. Laidley close to the line. He's able to get the hand pass over the top to Robert Scott. Knocking it further forward was Blakey. And it trundles over for a throw-in. It's outside 50. It's about 65 to 70 metres away now from the Collingwood goal as Buckley and Blakey are there to contest. Capuano and Richardson. Ball spills for Armstrong.
High ball to centre wing. Front spot was out on Richardson. Liddell gets back. Now he's over the top of it. And about, just thinking a moment ago, Jared, it's been a long time since Buckley had a kick. He was on 10 kicks a fair while ago, Buckley. And still on 10. Good job by Blakey. Patterson can't quite. Armstrong again. Had a sensational third quarter with 13 touches. Here's Buckley. Took a fair while to get rid of it. He has been pinged, so it's going to be a free kick against Nathan Buckley for hanging on to the footy. Hates the decision. Trent Nichols, 3 goals tonight, kicked straight into Buckley, and it'll be a throw-in. 15-11 North, Collingwood 9-12.
Boundary throw-in just forward of the wing in North Melbourne's attacking half. Underneath that is Armstrong, but it's Capuano. Can't clear that area. Watson, tap to the back. Archer was favoured by it, really, for North Melbourne. His kick. Richardson. In goes Danilchenko. Snapshot by Danilchenko. He's offline. Through for just one behind to the Kangaroos. That's Jason Danilchenko's first score. Anthony Stevens having a spell on the bench for North Melbourne. Gary Pert to kick it back in. Lovely long kick to a centre-half back. Gather by Wright. Well, there was some question about whether Graham Wright was fit enough to take his place in this side. And he's just played a little bit like a man who hasn't been training for the whole week. Collingwood a chance here. Longmire gives it up to Buckley. Buckley kick to centre-half forward. Getting back. Scholl. Tackled by Brown. Hand pass to Ross Smith. Laidley. Gee, they combine well across half-back North Melbourne. Fairley, his high kick. Gets nearly to centre-half forward. The ball spills to the back. Gary Pert is under a bit of pressure. Handballs to the line. Gee, didn't disguise that very well. The umpire prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt. And a throw-in will take place.
McKernan, oh, good tap to Nichols, who read it well. Kicks it to Carey. Krasiska with him. Oh, Carey again. A bit of Ablett in that, isn't it? Does it so well. Made Krasiska go early with his attempt to spoil. Held his ground and took his 13th mark. He's 4-1 favourite for the Brownlow going into tonight's match. He's probably now 3-1 favourite.
Yeah, tonight's performance won't do him any harm. And I'm sure North Melbourne will be, as a club, will be very pleased with this victory. Out of all the contenders that they've played this season, they've only beaten Essendon, lost to most of the other top sides, but this has been an emphatic victory.
Gets close to the man on the mark. Thumping kick. Gee, it's close.
I reckon Gavin Krasiska did his best to give away 50 metres by jumping over the mark. And I see Wayne Carey not too pleased about it either.
15-13 to 9-12. Carey 16 kicks, 13 marks, 6 handballs. If you're playing in the midfield, you'd be thrilled to bits with that, wouldn't you? 3 goals for his kick. As Collingwood go through Pert.
Long kick by Gary Pert, marked by Krasiska at left half-back, right half-back. Actually, he's kicking towards the centre. Nearly taken by Brown, but maybe it was good fortune because Russell ran onto it, kicked towards full forward. Rocker spoiled there by Martin. Back goes Fairley for the Kangaroos. He's right near the square. He runs out towards right back pocket and kicks out towards half-back flank. Knocked away there from Allison. Gather was by
Scott, I think it was.
Scott, is it? And the tackle was fairly well effective there by Russell. And the umpire can do nothing but bounce. Nearly 70,000 people for us. Be a fair crowd, wouldn't it, as far as AFL are concerned?
Oh, they'd be thrilled. 66,719, the official attendance.
The kick goes back towards the centre of the ground. Contest here. Hassel gets it to young Orchard. Orchard, little kick. Richardson tries to make it for himself. He looked a little awkward. Orchard tries to bash it forward. He's outnumbered. North Melbourne will go forward. Armstrong's hand pass into the path of his fellow left-footer Daniel Chico. A lovely long kick. It will be marked. No, it's interference anyway, is it? Yes, a free kick to Longmire against Perth.
Well, pretty crude tackle, this one from Gary Pert.
Well, the U's and R's are the crowd at the ground that could see on the big scoreboard a replay of the incident. And Carey suggesting maybe something more could come of this. Well,
what's a goal umpire there for?
Decisions could be made later. Longmire will kick his 5th goal.
Just thinking.
Now, it's becoming quite emphatic now, isn't it?
Chairman, under the blood rule, if, for example, Longmire was badly bleeding there, he'd be able to take his kick, would he?
Well, I think that has been a question that's been asked before, and I don't think anybody's got the answer to it. In fact, I heard one question about if the game had finished, is a guy able to take his kick under the blood rule? Who knows?
Moncourse on, Brereton off, Longmire with 5 goals. The ugly incident, that one. Schwass from the centre in the Armstrong direction. He's had his best match for North Melbourne tonight. Moncourse to Graham Wright, who's reportedly had the flu all week. Stops, props, then struggles with the kick to half forward. Rocker, long way out on a big turn. Thumps it back to centre half forward. No big markers there. Big fly by North Melbourne's Capuano. It's going to be a free kick to roll. I guess Capuano's saying, I have my eye on the footy. It is a bemusing rule, because if Capuano takes the mark, it's a mark, isn't it?
Mark on the goal.
It's a funny one, that one. 16-13 to 9-12. Well, Brad Rowe needs this badly, because he hasn't had a good night. He's had a lot of chances to kick a goal. He's had a bad one. You really feel sorry for him. One poor kick in the 3rd quarter, which was vital at the time. And there's not much Lee Matthews can do about that. 16 goals to 9.
The kick in finds Wayne Schwass. He's in the right back pocket for North Melbourne. 6.5 minutes left in the game. Collingwood have to fight it right out. Armstrong gets it to McKernan. McKernan's left foot kick in towards the centre. It goes through. Capuano, Denelchenko left it behind. Gatherers by Nichols. Handball over the top, finds Scott. Scott has been very good. Denelchenko away to Blakey. Into the path of Allison. Allison will go in. And he will miss. Well, you'd usually mark that down for Brett Allison as a goal. North Melbourne just wasting that chance. They're 16-15 now. Collingwood 9 goals, 12. North have kicked 3 goals to 1 so far in this last term. Gary Pert kicks well outside 50, nearly down to the wing. The ball to the rear. Williams tackled by Laidley. Didn't have the football. Paul Williams has got the free kick on centre wing.
Williams, centre wing. Funny old kick, that one. Laidley's got it. It's been good, Laidley. In fact, this defence has been outstanding. Scholl up to half forward. Krasiska, McKernan. Moncourse with the footy. He's had a lot of it tonight, actually.
22 touches now. Big
Williams,
stats for him.
Carey. Good kick to Longmire. Gee, Carey's a good player. I guess I'm telling nobody that, but Fantastic he is. Longmire's had a big one. He's had 5 goals tonight, Longmire. His best haul as Brown comes off and Liddell comes on. Longmire's best haul so far this year has been 6. He's missed a couple of games, 3 in fact, and he's had 3 matches where he hasn't scored a goal. He's given that everything and kicked it.
Tony Shaw joins Rex and the Sports World footy panel. Sunday morning here on 7.
Now becoming all one-way traffic as far as North Melbourne are concerned. Collingwood just have to fight the last 5 or 6 minutes right out. Orchard does well, gets it out to Patterson. This time he backs himself, but he's brilliantly brought down by Scholl. And once again, but it may be a little high. The second effort by Scholl, he was looking for the free kick. He thought it was that good.
Craig Scholl's done the thing. If you take a bloke on and try and bounce around him, if you get impeded, well, surely you've got to be gone.
Well, maybe given the benefit of the doubt because the tackle slipped down around his thigh or knee area, but the second effort to get back and have another go at him was terrific. I don't think you'll lose any admirers there, Craig Scholl. The ball is with Patterson. Stephen Patterson has kicked 2. He goes short. Goes through in the direction of Rocker. Rocker perhaps not able there to get control of it. Away goes Fairley, eventually taken over by Butcher. And it'll be thrown in left half forward for Collingwood. All the spirit knocked out of Collingwood. North Melbourne with 4 goals to just 1 in this last term. They lead by a big margin.
Moncourse, Richardson, and North again hanging on to it. So this helping North's percentage too. They went into the match with 108. At one stage, after round 5, their percentage this year was 76. They've slowly built it up and up and up. And to be in the top 4 this year, it could be important. But they're making a run for it now. 5 consecutive wins. 8 out of their last 9. That's a tremendous run they're having. Laidley, good again tonight. To centre wing, Archer. Free kick against Watson. Watson just down a bit tonight. Took the gloves off after he made a few mistakes in the first quarter. Archer's been excellent. Gets it to Rock. Longmire in the pocket. Rock goes to him now, gets him. Gee, good play. He hung on to it and hung on to it, Rock. Waited for Longmire. 9 marks for John Longmire and 13 to Carey. They're big stats, aren't they, by their key forwards?
Well, Rock was just looking up, just deciding whether to go to Carey or go to the horse.
Will this be his best effort for the year? He's looking for his 7th. That one's behind, I can promise you. 17-15 to 9-13, but he's had a lot of pings at goal, John Longmire, tonight. And he's worked his way back into good form this season after a slow start, riddled by injury and lack of confidence. In fact, he started at least 1 match, maybe 2, in a key defensive position. 17-15 to 9-13. As Robbo said, it's been a real big quarter for North this last.
Well, North were terrific last year, missed the grand final through just a little bit of misfortune, and they're playing West Coast style football this evening. Schwass's kick to the goal square. Longmire will certainly kick his 7th goal.
Go on.
From only 15 metres out. No, I wouldn't do it to you, Jared. I'm too nice a person. Johnny Longmire, well, just those tall players. They've got 3 or 2 around the middle of the ground, Capuano and McKernan. But Carey and Longmire, gee, they're hard to beat. And he kicks a goal. 7 goals, 2 to Longmire. 3 goals to Carey, 3 very good goals to Nichols. On the other side of the ledger, Rocker has kicked 4 for Collingwood.
And you'd reckon, Robbo, that if you kick 7 goals, that you'd have to sneak in for 1 vote. But by golly, you can be stiff if you kick a couple after the votes have already been given.
Good on you, Jared.
Longmire's kicked 4 goals in the last quarter, 6 in the last half. 18-15 to 9-13. Well, they're hammering them now, North. So exciting for 2 3/4 quarters, wasn't it? Even early in this last one, Collingwood got the opening goal. In that centre, Russell with a high kick. Oh, Sav, a beauty. Up high, held on and took it. Well, North have kicked the last 5 in this match. And Rocker with a chance to turn the tide. Fantastic mark. It's kick 4. Big article on Rocker during the week where Lee Matthews says even when he's not having a real big one, he's kicking 4 or 5 goals. Just 21 years of age, Rocker. And already well over 200 goals in league footy. 60 goals so far this season. Second to Gary Ablett in the goal kicking. Beautiful kick. He's got his 5th. How do you assess Rocker v Martin?
Oh, I think that Sav has probably won the battle. There's no doubt about that. Martin's done pretty well, though, coming back after missing a few weeks with strained stomach muscles. Which is a bit of a concern because they can become a chronic problem. Armstrong coming off the ground, replaced by Anderson in what's been a pretty good effort. But you just can't speak highly enough of Sav Rocker's shooting at goal.
Well, in just 63 games, Gerard, he's got plenty to look forward to. Anthony Rock kicks North Melbourne to full forward. At the back, Anderson. Handball. Well, it went through the goals, but it, of course, just registers a behind.
I think Collingwood, Robbo, just perhaps a season off the pace at the moment. They've got a lot of good young players coming through. And this game probably just gives them a chance to assess exactly where they are in comparison to the other clubs. They're not far away. They get McGuan and Francis back in. A couple of their their key position players like Rocker and Mark Richardson keep going. They're going to be tough next year.
Well, one of your state players from last year, Craig Scholl, was good in that little area there. Terrific mark. And the ball finishes with Nichols. Nichols down further to Archer. And we're close to the siren time. 33 seconds left. Archer just holding onto the football, trying to set something up. Kicks in towards the full forward area. Carey, yes, it's yours again.
Good little shepherd behind by McKernan as Carey grabs for the foot to break the cramp.
14 marks.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
And his short pass has found McKernan. Perhaps a little tighter on the angle. And it could be the last kick of the game. McKernan will kick after the siren. His game hasn't been bad. There is the siren. But McKernan, an important player, just takes a little bit away from Carey, if that's possible, and adds a bit of flavour. Can he kick a goal? His kick is close, but just offline. So the final score of the game is a behind to North Melbourne, kicked by Corey McKernan. And the two players there were combatants all night, Kosiska and Carey. Carey was terrific. North Melbourne won 18-17 to 10-13.
Expert commentary at a whole new level. That's Talking Footy. Monday nights on 7 Sports.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. North Melbourne now won 5 straight, 8 out of their last 9. They kicked 5 goals in the last quarter, 4 to John Longmire. He finished with 7 for the match, 6 after half-time. And Rocker got 5 for Collingwood. The final score is 18-17, 125, 10-13, 73. Looking at Gerard Healy's votes for the Sports World Player of the Year, Wayne Carey, no surprise with 3, one of his great matches. Matthew Armstrong, particularly in the 3rd quarter, he got 2, and Wayne Schwass was also very good.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft, and National Australia Bank.
Obviously, lots of changes could happen to the ladder over the weekend, but the significant thing from tonight, Collingwood has dropped 1 place because their percentage took a bit of a hammering. North Melbourne consolidating up to 112. As we look at today's matches, Essendon and Adelaide at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The match of the day, Hawthorn West Coast of Waverley Park. Big game, that one, for both clubs. Geelong heavily favoured over Brisbane at Cardinia Park. On Sunday, Sydney favoured over St Kilda. Fremantle and Melbourne at Subiaco. Fitzroy in Footscray, and the big one, the blockbuster 1v2 Carlton Richmond, Justin Madden's 300th game at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. More than 66,000 here tonight, the biggest for a Friday night so far this year, and weren't North Melbourne impressive with Longmire's 7 goals, comfortable winners in the end.